organic, unpredictable, unknown, lovely, beautiful, a sense of fulfillment. This is part of the pleasures of life and not the chores of life.
Coming up on Daily Iowan TV.
Language learning on the go. Students are breaking out of the classroom and using different tools to get a linguistic edge.
And more protests on campus. It may seem normal at this point, but this time the uproar is about something different.
And in sports, a look at how Tony Ramos won his national title.
And for your weather forecast,
stay tuned to find out what some students did for spring break and how they felt coming back to this cold weather.
Daily Iowan TV is ready to go. Good evening, I'm Brianna Jett.
and I'm Matt Starnes. You've probably heard of language learning tools like Rosetta Stone. You also probably know that they can be costly and time-consuming. But now there are new tools that are easy on your wallet. I went out to find out what new tools people are using to learn languages on the go.
Vous allez manger des crêpes au café.
Duolingo is a new online tool and language learning app that teaches 5 languages for free. It's grabbed a hold of students on campuses across the nation, with many reporting impressive results.
It improved my reading, improved my writing. At the same time, it gave me a model for this is how this word is actually pronounced versus how I've been pronouncing it my entire life, you know? It was definitely helpful in a way that I didn't expect it to be, leading me through forming those sentences on my own.
But while Duolingo is a useful tool for keeping your skills up to date or trying the basics of a new language outside the classroom, some students say it's still no substitute for a true college learning environment.
I don't think it could ever be an alternative. I think that it would be like a really good, parallel side-by-side thing to do.
Either way, trying an app like Duolingo might be a cost-free way to dust off those high school language skills for an upcoming summer vacation. Now, Brianna, I downloaded the app earlier today when I was working on the story, and I'm really excited to break it in before I go to France this fall.
I'm thinking I'm going to have to give it a shot. What began at a single Seattle Starbucks offering customers beer and wine will soon be available for thousands more. That's because the coffee giant will expand their sale of alcoholic beverages to thousands of locations in major cities like Chicago, Atlanta, and Los Angeles. The company says the new evening menu was a response to customer feedback. They say many expressed a need for a place to gather and relax while connecting with others over coffee, tea, small plates, and wine. But it may take some time before this upgrade comes to Iowa. A spokesman said in an email to the Daily Iowan that, quote, at this time they don't have any specific plans for Iowa, including the Iowa City area. So for now, Iowans will just have to settle for a warm cup of coffee. If you're interested in stores that might receive the upgrades, you can visit starbucks.com/coffeehouse. Craft company Hobby Lobby is currently a part of a Supreme Court hearing regarding contraception. Under the Affordable Care Act, companies are required to provide birth control options to employees. Specific requirements in the new healthcare system have caused conflict with Hobby Lobby's religious background. Today, groups supporting both sides of the contraceptive debate protested outside the old Capitol. Hobby Lobby has shown they already provide forms of contraception, but the main issue has focused on not offering morning-after contraceptive methods. Separation of these religious values in state government has been one of the major conflicts facing the new form of healthcare. Hobby Lobby is just one of 2 companies involved in cases like this, and both Supreme Court rulings are expected to be announced this summer. Chris Young has been married for 29 years. But here's the twist. He's now going to be ordained as a Catholic priest this summer. Young was a former Episcopalian pastor, and technically this is against the rules for priesthood in the Catholic Church. But under the pastoral provision which was set forth under Pope John Paul II, Young is able to be ordained in the Catholic Church. He's one out of only around 100 people in the U.S. to go through this process and must promise celibacy while married.
Much more is still coming your way on Daily Iowan TV. More efforts are taking place to increase paychecks. Raising Iowa's minimum wage still remains a hot topic.
And in sports, recapping NFL Pro Day in Iowa City.
But first, we're going to turn it over again to Daily Iowan TV's Kelly Oline to see what's going on with weather and what students think of snow after spring break. Kelly?
Thanks, Brianna. I ran into some students on the street today, and here's what they had to say about this weather and their spring break. And what did you guys do for spring break?
I actually went to Nashville, Tennessee.
I stayed here and worked.
I went home. And how was the weather there?
It was nice. It was kind of cold.
It was quite cold.
The weather, it was 60s most of the time. It hit 72, I believe, at the highest. That was really nice.
I don't know. I expected it not to be as cold as it was.
I kind of knew. Looked ahead. And how did you feel about coming back to Iowa City?
I'm cold. Especially like yesterday, snow. I didn't think we were supposed to get snow again. That was really surprising. So.
All right, well, thank you. Now let's look at the rest of the week. Tomorrow should be our last cold day with clear skies and a high of 20 in the morning. It will stay clear, warming up to 41 in the afternoon, and will level off with some clouds and 44 degrees in the evening. Looking at the rest of the week, if you plan on going out at all, make sure you have your rain boots ready, because Thursday it is expected to rain. However, it'll be nice with a high 52 degrees. Expect the rest of the weekend to be cloudy and in the low 50s into next week. Sunday will heat us up with a high of 66 degrees. However, along with those dropping temperatures, there's an 80% chance of rain on Monday with a high of 51 degrees. Let's head back to the desk.
Raising minimum wage. It's an ongoing issue and it hasn't left the minds of many Iowans. A previous bill asked for minimum wage to be $10.10 an hour and was rejected. More than 20 groups are launching a Raise the Wage campaign this week at the Capitol. Recent polls show 2/3 of Iowans support a raise.
And now for a look at what's happening beyond Iowa. Rescuers are still searching for survivors from a Washington state landslide that shook the state on Saturday. No rescues have been made since then. 14 deaths have been recorded and 176 people are still missing. According to CNN, officials believe most of the missing people could be duplicated names. The landslide took over a square mile of land and destroyed around 50 structures. Many volunteers have put on their boots and gear and trying to help find those who are still missing.
Officials can now confirm that Flight 370, a Malaysian airline, did crash. Malaysia's Prime Minister says analysis of satellite data indicates it went down in a remote corner of the Indian Ocean. The plane took flight on March 8th with 239 people on board. Search teams have found possible debris about 1,500 miles off Australia's coast. The next step is finding more evidence on the plane's black box.
Continuing the topic of the missing Malaysia airline, we're going to turn it over to Daily Iowan TV's Aaron Faust to see what students' theories are in this week's Street Chatter. Aaron?
I can't even imagine what these families are going through right now, not knowing where the plane is and why it went off its track. After talking with students on campus, it's clear this is a topic a lot of people are keeping tabs on. Check out what these students had to say.
I know that there was the Malaysia air flight that was lost, and I think they're pretty sure that it crashed somewhere. Not sure where. And that's basically all I know right now, and I know they're looking for the black boxes from the planes. So
a lot of misinformation on what happened to the plane. Did it sink? Did it disappear? Kind of what was the cause of it? Where was the black box? I think they're like created to be indestructible, so it's kind of weird that they couldn't find it. Then they thought it was turned off.
My theories are that it was stolen by terrorists and it has landed in Africa and they're going to use it to attack America.
I personally think it was probably just something, for whatever reason, whether it be a pilot or somebody on the plane, something happened and it crashed, and, once the black box goes so far below sea level, they probably can't, use whatever technology they do to locate it.
And don't forget to join the conversation. Tweet us your theories at DITV News. But for now, let's take it back to Brianna and Matt.
Thanks, Aaron. And now we're going to toss it over to our very own Jalen Socek with sports.
Thanks, guys, and welcome back to the Daily Iowan TV Sports Studio. We'll get to our look at newly crowned NCAA champion Tony Ramos in just a bit, but we start the program with a team competing in their own NCAA tournament right here in Iowa City. Bluder's bunch are looking to give the dean of the Big Tens her first trip to the Sweet 16. In order to get to Louisville next week, they'll ironically have to beat the Cardinals tonight in Carver Hawkeye Arena. The Hawkeyes are coming off an impressive 87-65 win over Marist Sunday night, while Louisville more than doubled their opponent in Idaho, 88-42. Tip-off is at 8:30 tonight and can be seen on ESPN2. While you were gone over spring break, Tony Ramos won an individual NCAA title Saturday night, Kevin Glick has the details of how the Stare finally won his elusive national championship.
A season after what many Iowa fans thought was a robbery of a national championship, Tony Ramos finished his career on top of the wrestling world, winning the 2014 133-pound NCAA championship.
Yeah, I knew he liked to roll. As soon as he hit that roll, I was just finding some way to score. I knew if I caught that arm, and I was like, if I just fall back a little bit, I'm going to get a quick count. Just glad I got it this year, unlike last year.
Last year, Ramos caught Ohio State's Logan Stieber in a similar situation in the 2013 finals in Des Moines. Ramos managed to put the Buckeye on his back for what appeared to be a quick 2-count near fall. It wasn't awarded after a challenge, though, and Ramos would lose the title 7-4. This season, though, Ramos tilted Wisconsin's Tyler Graft and caught him for a quick 2-count in an overtime tiebreaker that was awarded, clinching the title he had been chasing for 4 years, 3-1. The whole NCAA tournament, Ramos wrestled uncharacteristically to his normal super offensive style. All of his matches in the postseason, save one pin in his first Big Ten tourney match, were won by decision.
I won the national title. I got the job done. That's all that matters right now.
For Ramos, the way he won doesn't matter, and it's a sweet ending for one of the most exciting wrestlers to come through Tom Brandt's program in recent years. Kevin Glick, Daily Iowan TV Sports.
While Tony is enjoying the end of his college career, some Hawkeye football players are looking to continue their playing career in the NFL after performing on Iowa's Pro Day on Monday. Whitney Blakemore has all the details.
NFL Pro Day took place for Iowa yesterday, where 13 players worked out in front of 28 NFL team representatives. Tight end C.J. Fedorowicz drew most of the attention yesterday, working out for the Bengals' assistant coach, Jonathan Hayes, who is also a former Hawkeye. The 6'5 prospect is generally considered to be among the top 5 tight ends in this year's draft. He possesses decent speed for his height, posting a 4.76 40 at the combine, and is an above-average blocker. Another former Hawkeye predicted to be signed early is linebacker Christian Kirksey. Currently projected as a third-rounder, Kirksey had a 36-inch vertical jump and 10-foot broad jump. What the 6'2 defensive man lacks in size and strength is made up for in his pass coverage and run defense. The praised playmaker could bump up a bit higher on the draft boards, however, with his newly set 40-meter time of 4.5 seconds he ran yesterday. Both Kirksey and Fedorowicz have been talked about being signed to the New England Patriots. Anthony Hitchens and James Morris also were in attendance at Pro Day, along with their former linebacker Kirksey. They both ran the 40 in 4.6 seconds. That time was much improved from Morris's 4.8 seconds at the combine. And Hitchens is most likely going to be a free agent pickup possibility following the draft. Another likely free agent pickup will be long snapper Casey Crater. He is known to get the ball back with accuracy and velocity. If he is picked up after the draft, this will be Iowa's second of the last 3 long snappers to make it into the league. For now, when, where, and if these former Hawkeyes will be drafted is all just speculation until the day comes in the Radio City Music Hall in late April. Whitney Blakemore, Daily Iowan TV Sports.
Thanks for that, Whitney. Unfortunately, that's all we have for tonight's show. Tune in tomorrow for another edition of What It Takes. For now, back to you at the desk.
Thanks, Jalen. Only with Daily Iowan TV can you get a sneak peek into tomorrow's pages of the Daily Iowan.
This crazy cold weather and past events have taken a toll on Hubbard Park. Now future events are having to be rescheduled due to the closing.
And 2 candidates for the Johnson County Attorney will have a meet and greet with students tonight. Check tomorrow's pages of the Daily Iowan and see what happened.
That's all we have for you tonight. Catch up with us tomorrow night at the same time or anytime online at dailyiowan.com.
Have a great night.
Iowa SJMC.
Want a major that'll take you somewhere?
I joined and now I'm in Los Angeles, California, interning for Conan O'Brien at Warner Brothers Studios.
I joined and now I'm working in public relations for diabetes research.
SJMC. Iowa SJMC.
Want a major that'll take you somewhere?
I joined and now I make videos for the university.